Welcome to Tater's Big Show Hangover. Episode 28 is here. Thanks for coming by for one more round, you guys. How you doing? How you doing? You doing all right? July 2026. Heat wave, man. It has been no joke, has it? Hey, did you or are you getting any of Canada's smoke blowing into our country? Guess you can't hide it when it's up in the air, huh? It's crazy. It's so crazy. There were reports out when it was first blowing this away. The Weather Channel reported that the health experts were warning that the wildfire smoke contained tiny particles that can penetrate deep into the lungs. That's scary. Causing coughing, shortness of breath, irritated eyes, and an irritated throat, and other respiratory problems. Sensitive groups, including children, older adults, and people with heart or lung conditions, were asked to limit their outdoor activity when the air quality was getting worse each day. In areas with the highest pollution levels, everyone was being told to spend less time outdoors, no matter your health. You're in perfectly good condition and perfect good health. They wanted you to stay indoors. So my family decided to travel to Ohio for a wedding. And when we got there on Friday, the smoke was there. It was already there in Youngstown, Ohio, and we decided to walk everywhere. But big winds and rain hit Youngstown, and it seemed to kind of have it all cleared out by Sunday. And the World Cup also happened this weekend, didn't it? Yeah. We were in the car during it, but we were getting updates. Spoiler alert. Go ahead and turn the volume down, because I'm going to tell you. Spoiler alert. Turn your volume down. Spain won. They beat Argentina. Okay. All right. Just in case there's folks that have still, I don't know, weren't on the planet to see it, and maybe they recorded it. I didn't want to be the one with a spoiler alert. But FIFA, I will tell you this, they're selling tiny scraps of turf from the World Cup finals match, and they're charging a reasonable price. $450 for 6 square inches of slightly distressed MetLife grass. Yeah, and I'm looking at it. The official FIFA store describes this so-called collector's item as, quote, own a genuine piece of history with an authentic 2026 FIFA World Cup piece of the pitch, permanently preserved, lots of P's there, permanently preserved in a premium acrylic. So I'm looking at the picture, and it kind of reminds me of like a 1970s paperweight my dad would have on his work desk. 6 square inches of slightly distressed MetLife grass. Looks like a nail scrubber. You know, like when you're trying to get all the dirt out from underneath your nails. That's what looks like is suspended in this acrylic. Good thing that, I'm not going to tell you the country that won, but FIFA will ship this item to only Europe and the United States. So the team that lost couldn't have delivered even if they wanted it. Okay. So anyway, that's what was happening with World Cup, other than who won, and I have more for you in Tatertainment. But also, let me get back to what the wedding was about. So my cousin's kid, so my second cousin, got married. He was the groom, and it was an awesome wedding in Ohio. Awesome. Good. Many family members were there. My second cousin, he is in his mid-20s. The bride and groom were in their mid-20s, so the crowd was all age ranges. I was very close to the 20-year-olds. Hush your mouth. You know, don't be yelling at the speaker. You know, I don't tell my age. But not much has changed as far as weddings go. I mean, it was a Catholic ceremony. They didn't have Mass, so it wasn't as long as a Catholic ceremony as it could have been. It was beautiful, though. The Catholic churches up in Ohio are beautiful. The reception, also beautiful. It was at a vineyard. The weather got a little murky there on our way to the reception. Some really high gust winds, microbursts, I believe they called them, came in and blocked some of our passages. We had to take several different routes because trees were down, but we made it to the reception in time for dinner. It was a buffet, and it was yummy, and the dancing. Not much has changed. The dancing was awesome. Everybody got out there after some adult beverages, and the music they picked was amazing. It was retro. I knew 95% of the songs, which was fun for me. Anywho, they also had pictures set up, which I thought this was really cool. The bride had pictures and framed of their parents and their grandparents' wedding pictures. That was pretty cool, I have to say. So it was neat to look through that because that's their family. Those are the generations. And they also had a rotary phone where you could go over and you picked it up and you left a voice message instead of a guest book, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I can't remember, and I didn't take a picture of what it said and what the prompt was, but they had a prompt there that said to leave your well wishes and your advice. You know how they do for those frames. A lot of people would sign frames and then they would put their wedding portrait in it, or the guest books. You could leave a little comment and leave your name, let them know that you were there. This was a rotary phone. You picked it up and you left your message. So, of course, I had to let them know I was calling about their extended car warranty. So, again, the best part not only was watching them in love, starting their life together as a married couple, but also seeing everybody getting busy on the dance floor. Congratulations to Luke and Caitlin Stober.
Yo, what's up? How y'all doing?
Doing good, man.
Hey, man, a friend of mine named Mike got married over the weekend.
Yeah.
I got invited, so I went. Because, Mike is a good dude. But I am the only black man he knows. So I was the only black man at the wedding. Now, I got a bunch of white friends, so I have been in this situation before.
Right.
It ain't bad during all the I do's and whatnot. Where it gets tough is at the reception. Now, being the only black dude in the room ain't no big deal till the bride gets done dancing with her daddy and they cut the cake and all that, because that's when they crank up the music for the drunk Caucasian dance party. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I knew I was in trouble when I saw the DJ. Tall, curly-headed white dude. See, that ain't right. If the DJ at the reception is some thick, dark, CeeLo green-looking brother with aviator shades, it's all good. Yeah. But if you get bony-ass DJ Whitey, it's going to be painful. DJ Whitey don't know nothing about party music. What's he always kick it off with? Y'all know, Kool and the Gang, Celebration. The whitest party song in America. Celebrate good time, come on. Ain't nothing wrong with Kool and the Gang. But I think Kool was hanging out with a gang of white people when he wrote that one. And ain't nothing makes a black man nervous like a room full of drunk white folks yelling, Yahoo! Now, sometimes DJ Whitey will kick it off with the Black Eyed Peas, which don't help at all. No. Let's get it started in here. No, let's not. Why do white people need somebody to tell them when it's time for the fun to start? That's why people at the white dance party always do that line dancing jazz, the electric slide and whatnot. White people love to line up and have somebody tell them how much fun to have. I guess it comes from all them trips to Disney World when they was a kid. Oh, and one line dance is bad enough, but it ain't just the electric slide no more. You hear that? It ain't going to be long till they follow it up with the cha-cha slide. Y'all heard that one? Oh, slide to the right, slide to the left. Right foot one time, left foot one time. Reverse, reverse. What's up with that? It's like an inner city square dance going on. White folks need to do what my people do. Work out your dance moves before you get to the damn party, okay? But the most painful part of the evening comes hour number 2. That's when some tore-up 40-year-old white woman and her friends go over and make DJ Whitey put on the Grease medley. Oh, Lord. One song from Grease is bad enough. Now we got 2 or 3 in a row. Hell to the no. A couple more quick notes here for white wedding people. Number 1, the roof is not on fire, okay? Ain't before people in this room know how to dance. There's an 8-year-old girl, there's the mother of the bride, and the 2 gay guys that playing the wedding. Everybody else need to sit down. And number 2, it might be getting hot in here, but ain't nobody gonna take off all their clothes. That's just the groom's drunk Uncle Fred. Y'all know Fred. He's an old dude, been hammered since about 10 minutes after he walked in the door. Fred is the one that always hits on the bridesmaids, you know. That's the part I like to watch, especially when it goes a little bit too long and the bridesmaid's boyfriend take Uncle Fred outside and lay an ass whooping on him. Now it's a party. Celebrate good time. Come on. Y'all think about it. I'm Marvin West.
I love that bit about Marvin. It's so true, isn't it? Oh, I hit it. I'm still hoarse from talking over the DJ music. It's not a great, once the party gets started on the dance floor, not much conversation could happen inside. And it was raining outside, so we couldn't go outside to talk. So a lot of it was yelling back and then pulling your ear in close so that you could hear what somebody was saying to you and then yelling again. So I am still in my deep voice. It's two. Like Lily Von Stoop. Ah, how romantic. A red rose. You know, last week I asked you all a simple question on Facebook, and you were lovely to respond. I said, where do you listen to the podcast? And I figured I'd get answers like Spotify, YouTube, in the truck. Well, y'all didn't answer the question. Instead, you started telling me about your lives, which was pretty awesome. One of you is driving a Kenworth down the interstate. One of you is loading tankers before the sun comes up. Some of you are headed to work. Some of you are sitting at a desk. One of you is drawing house plans in CAD, which that amazes me, and I have to look that up because I'd like to add a room onto the house. And CAD, C-A-D, seems to be the way to do it. Somebody's out in the shop. Love to keep you company out there. Somebody's kicked back in an easy chair. One of my favorite comments, this one of y'all has a dog named Mary Jane. I mentioned Mary Jane on the podcast. And apparently the pup started barking because she thought I was talking to her. So, hi, Mary Jane. You a good girl. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? I laughed out loud reading that one and just now telling you about it. After I read all those comments, though, you guys, something kind of hit me. I accidentally asked you where I get to spend time with you. Every week, I get to ride shotgun with some of you. I get to help a few miles go by a little faster. I get to keep some of you company while you're working. I learned I get to be there while you're driving, laughing, or just trying to make it through another workday. I don't know that I'll ever get used to that. It's pretty special to me. When the big show ended, I honestly didn't know what this next chapter would look like. I hoped we'd find each other again. I just didn't know how. And now I do. So whether I'm riding with you in your truck, sitting on the counter of your desk, not literally, but you know what I'm trying to say, hanging out in your shop while you tinker on your cars and build something cool, I'm there making your dog bark. I just want to say thanks for letting me tag along. I'm sure glad we're still doing this together. Episode 28. Superstar. Speaking of comments, I have one here from Spotify from @RevJasonR. He wrote, hey, Marcy, did Randy ever do a character on some skits? Would like to hear it if he did. Well, yeah, Rev Jason. Randy did a lot. Not a main character always. He had one main character that he did, but he was in Playhouses. He had announcer roles and bits and production that he had to do. He was a backup singer more times than you know. But his main character was Oral Rogers. And Oral Rogers was a preacher that would show up in Playhouses. And it was hilarious and sounded something like this.
Welcome to John Boy and Billy Playhouse. Today's episode, Oral Rogers makes a house call. As our story opens, it's 2 a.m. on an icy winter night as a visitor comes to the door of a small patio home in the Brushywood Acres retirement village.
Holy cow, it's cold. Come on, open up. I'm freezing my Philippians off out here. Open up. Hello.
Hello, back. You must be Reverend Rogers.
Yes, let me in. For goodness sakes, I'm freezing. That's Dr. Rogers anyway, sir. You are?
Dr. Claude Pepper. I'm the on-call overnight physician. Now listen, before you get all wound up, your next line. See, that's what those 3 dots are for. I'm just extemporizing until you
I thought you were going to be doing some concentrating there. Ain't got no time for no small... Hello? You hear that?
I'm letting the guy who knows his lines in.
There ain't no time for no small talk there, Fuzzy. When that woman called, she said she was on death's door. Now, where is she?
Well, she's in the bedroom, but Dr. Rogers...
Hey, hold on. Just hold that thought there, my little center friend. I'll be right back. I'll be right back again. Sadie, honey, it's Dr. Rogers.
Well, it's about time you know I'm dying.
That's what I hear.
Hello there, Dr. Rogers.
Well, how you feeling, sweetheart?
Oh, terrible. I feel like I could give up the ghost any second now. That doctor's been here for 30 minutes a poking and a prodding me and ain't done a bit of good.
Well, honey, you should have called me here first instead of that old voodoo daddy out there. You know, one in the parlor. You know what I'm talking about, right? Because, woman, thou art fixin' to get loosed. Tell me, sister, do you believe?
I do.
Do you understand that the power I'm a-fixin' to lay upon you comes not from me, but from the Lord himself?
Absolutely.
Then buckle up, Buttercup. Here comes Mongo. Foul spirits of illness and infirmity, as well as stomach-turning demon of bad breath. You know, you really could use a tic-tac there, sister. I command you. I'm going to have to have my top button to say here, sister. Get back.
You know, I told you I was dying, right?
Okay, here we go. I'm back with you now. To command.
Excuse me, Dr. Rogers.
Back off, Dr. Quackenstein. We don't need your old snake oil around here anymore.
Doctor, I really need to speak with you out here for a second.
Sadie, you relax. Let me go talk with this unsaved heathen for just a moment.
Oh, bless you, Dr. Rogers.
Yes, all right now. All right now, old Bugs, as old Bugs Bunny used to say there, what's up, Doc?
Well, you get really wound up,
I
don't
did,
you?
I did. Did you notice my face got really red? I undid my top button and everything. It still happens.
Head's all blown up like that guy on South Park.
You know, I think it's
thought-
rosacea. Could you help me?
Yeah, see, oh, no, now. Oh, now you need my help.
Forget it.
Listen, I just thought that you should know there's nothing wrong with Mrs. Butterworth.
Well, of course there ain't, you heathen. The Lord just used me to lay a divine healing right down upon her.
No. I mean, there was never anything wrong with her.
Now, hold the phone. You wait just a second there, you fuzzy, whatever. Something
Just call me White Devil. That's my nickname around here.
There you go. You just hold the phone. She said she is right at death's door.
Yes, but according to my examination, she's perfectly fine. Frankly, Dr. Rogers, I believe Mrs. Butterworth is a hypochondriac. In other words, her problems are all in her mind.
Even that dragon breath of hers.
Well, no, that one's in her mouth.
Now, are you telling me that woman wasn't never dying?
No, physically speaking, she's fine.
Could you excuse me for just a second?
Of course, the White Devil's got nothing to do with it.
Sadie, it's Dr. Rogers again, sweetheart.
Where are you?
I'm right here, honey, right over your bed.
Oh, hello, Dr. Rogers.
Oh, jeez, did you turn your head? Sister, I'm going to need to lay my hand upon your head just one more time.
Well, you are? What for?
Shh. I'm getting kind of a word of knowledge here. Oh, my goodness, sweetheart. Do you have a wheel?
A wheel? Well, yes. Mr. Green keeps it in the safe down at his lawyering office.
All right, I'm going to call Mr. Green and get him to bring it over here right away. Now, let me ask you another question, sister. Do you have any money? And if you do, where do you keep it at?
I keep it at the Brushwood National Bank downtown.
All right, then. I'm going to have to call Mr. Cato in from the bank and have him come over also.
You are? Oh,
Yes.
Dr. Rogers, do you mean I really am going to die?
No, sister, there ain't a blessed thing wrong with you. I just don't want to be me and Dr. Pepper as the only two fools dragged out of bed for nothing on a night like this.
You peaked too early.
I really think I could do that last line better.
We hope you've enjoyed John Boy and Billy Playhouse.
Spirits of punchline disaster, come on!
I think he's the one that's dying.
Tune in again next time when we'll hear crusty old Mr. Cato from the bank say,
Hey, big man, let me hold $1.
Not as easy as it looks there, is it, Burt
It
Backrack?
really isn't.
Right? Didn't he do a good preacher? Oh my gosh. If you were in the room, his face did get red and his face would shake when he would do it, and he would lose his place because it was very physical. That character, Oral Rogers, he would, he would act out with his hand out like he was, exercising the demons, and He would start shaking, and then he'd lose his spot in the script. And I'm just telling you. I'm not criticizing. I'm just telling you what happened, because I know in that bit they kind of get on him for it. But it was, gosh, we should have videoed that. That was funny to watch. Thank you so much for your comment there, Reverend Jason R. How fitting that his main character was Dr. Oral Rogers, and your handle here is Rev Jason R. But thank you very much for that question. And it's time for a little bit of Tatertainment for episode 28. Vice President J.D. Vance and Second Lady Usha Vance has welcomed their fourth child. They had a son. They named him Alec, and he was born on Sunday, the 19th of July at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. In a statement shared on social media, the couple said both the mom and baby are healthy and that their 3 older children are overjoyed, that was in quotation marks, to meet their new brother. They already had 2 sons and a daughter. They also thanked the medical teams at Walter Reed and at the White House. Let's see, what else? This birth marks the first time, little bit of White House history, it marks the first time in more than 150 years that a sitting U.S. vice president has welcomed a child while in office. Oh, look at that. Little Alec made some history. Forever be known. Let's see. Oh, Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll, applied for divorce, and he and his wife, Bunny XO, proved that divorce can be hassle-free. They reached a deal only 2 months after he formally filed for divorce. That is pretty quick. The exact details, of course, are confidential, but TMZ, I don't know how they do it, obtained their settlement agreement that bans them from trash-talking each other. Not TMZ, but Jelly Roll and Bunny XO. So TMZ obtained this. They also found out that Jelly, let's just call him Jelly. Jelly will pay Bunny a lump sum to avoid any alimony claims. They allocated responsibility for their debts, and they split their assets that include their homes, cars, and an airplane. Their 10th wedding anniversary would have been in August. Thank you, TMZ. Oh, all episodes of the Netflix comedy series The Hawk are now streaming. Will Ferrell stars as a washed-up golfer trying to make a comeback, and Molly Shannon plays his estranged wife. So we've been seeing maybe I should just speak for myself. Will Ferrell's been kind of doing the talk show junket and being in stands, like at the Wimbledon and stuff, with the Hawk visor on. And he's been going on all the shows, and he always does this, the late-night talk shows, dressed as his character. So he's been wearing the loud golf pants and the unmatching socks with the visor that says The Hawk on it. So now you know what it's all about. It's about the Netflix comedy series, and it's streaming. You can catch it now on Netflix. And Molly Shannon, she's made a resurgence. She was in Only Murders in the Building, and a lot of her SNL skits are circulating out there in social media. I'm Sally O'Malley. I'm 50 years old. I like to kick, stretch, and kick. Maybe it's because I keep talking about her. Coming up on 3 years after Jimmy Buffett passed away, there is an album in the works. What? How's that so? Well, it's like this. His guitarist and Coral Reefer Band musical director, Mac McAnally, I hope I'm saying that right, he told Billboard that he's been working on a new album alongside his Coral Reefer bandmate, Michael Utley. McAnally says the songs are, for the most part, things that have never been out or that were recorded, quote, for a one-off purpose, a TV episode, or a movie, end quote. The oldest of the tracks is from 2003, and the newest is maybe 4 years ago or so, he said. None of those things have ever been on a Jimmy Buffett album, so he's pretty excited about it. He goes on to say that the album, which doesn't have a title or a release date, is really good in his opinion. And this will be the second album released since Jimmy's death from skin cancer at the age of 76 back in September of 2023. The last album that Jimmy was working on Equal Strain on All Parts was released on November 3rd of 2023 after his passing. Speaking of albums, Entertainment Tonight posted on their Facebook page that Star Trek legend William Shatner is venturing into a new career at the age of 95, frontman of a new heavy metal band, the Uckers. The Uckers. And a letter is missing and replaced with an asterisk. The Uckers. They're set to debut at Riot Fest in Chicago, September 20th of this year. And he did exactly what he said he... William. He wants to play up the persona, and so he submitted a writer for his appearance at Riot Fest in September. It's supposed to be tongue-in-cheek, but he said, so now that my appearance in Chicago at Riot Fest is known, I want to start acting like the heavy metal rock god that I am. So I have a few demands, requests. They are, he'd like a boat named in his honor in Chicago, a billboard featuring him and a fan. He'd like a food named after him. He'd like an opportunity to do the weather report with the longtime Chicago-based meteorologist Tom Skilling. He would like to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game at a Chicago baseball game. He did not specify the Cubs or White Sox. He needs fire breathers, many of them. He needs the golf cart that they move artists around at the Riot Fest to be replaced by a DeLorean. His dressing room shall be themed as Shatner's Shag Shack and decorated to his specifications. He needs 4 feet of Polish sausage in his dressing room. He needs 1 Montreal Canadiens hockey sweater signed by John Stamos. What? He needs 8 pallets of Faygo. He needs 1 pair of white tube socks and 1 pair of underwear. He needs an assortment of adoptable puppies sourced from a reputable local animal rescue nonprofit. Billie Eilish does that for herself and for her crew when she goes to cities. I like that one. He needs 1 bowl of sauerkraut in his dressing room ready to be eaten. And, last but not least, a bouquet of flowers in a vase. You know, something sweet, something dainty, he said. His album, What the F is Heavy Metal, will feature some original compositions along with covers of songs by Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and he has the help of a former guitarist from Deep Purple, Richie Blackmore. Go get it, 95. 95. I can kick, stretch, and kick. World Cup. We talked about World Cup, and I told you I had some more info about it, and it's about the halftime show. So, it featured Madonna, BTS, Justin Bieber, Shakira, Burna Boy, Coldplay's Chris Martin, and several surprise guests at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Madonna opened the 11-minute production with her song Music. Now, the standard halftime for the World Cup is 15 minutes. All right, so they planned on 11 minutes of production. And they expected it to be 20 minutes long. They wanted a little buffer. So, BTS performed Dynamite, and Bieber delivered Everything Hallelujah with just himself and the guitar. Shakira and Burna Boy performed the tournament anthem for 2026, Die Die. All right, and that, there isn't an English phrase with a direct translation. But Die Die is a song. It's the words used as a chant to get the crowd going. So, to explain why it's Die Die, I'm not, Anyway, the halftime show, I guess, is if you call it halftime, received mixed reactions from viewers accustomed to soccer's traditional brief halftime break. And former England star Wayne Rooney criticized the production during Fox's broadcast, saying he thought it was, quote, crap. This was FIFA's first ever Super Bowl-style music halftime show. It was planned for 20 minutes, like I said, 11 minutes of concert. But due to building and removing the stage, it has caused significant delays and lasted 29 minutes and like 15 seconds, something like that. 29 minutes. Ooh, there was some mad Pfeiffer fans. All right, let's see. Ooh, this is a weird story. A Florida woman has become the talk of her retirement community, and it's all because of her new state-issued license plate. That's right. I was not going to do this for Tatertainment, but now I'm gonna. Or I could just turn the music down. All right. A Florida woman has become the talk of her retirement community, and it's all because of her new state-issued licensed plate. A 76-year-old woman in Pompano Beach named Nancy expects to get some looks, some giggles, some chuckles when she drives around their community. The Department of Motor Vehicles recently issued her a new license plate, and she was shocked by the letter and number combination on it. It reads SQZ-A55. SQZ-A55. Anyone with an eye for reading vanity plates can figure out what that says. But only thing is that this wasn't a vanity plate. Nope, she didn't pick this out. She said she was stunned that the plate made it through the state's approval process. Probably wouldn't have been approved if someone wanted this as their vanity plate. Initially, she wanted to replace this plate, but after her friends and family, saw it and laughed, the plate has become a source of popularity and laughter in her retirement community. So she's now come to terms with it and may even keep it, joking that it could earn her a few honks from passing drivers.
Well, if you're going to honk it, squeeze ass instead of my honk if you love Jesus bumper sticker, that's between you and your God. Nancy with a nasty licensed plate, squeeze ass.
I know everybody doesn't listen to the podcast in order, and so sometimes things are going to seem outdated, and that's okay. But I'm letting you know episode 28 is happening here in mid-July. And also happening in mid-July is Lowe's Improvement Stores, where you can already buy Halloween decor. I read this in a news snippet, and it's true. You can buy like a 15-foot tall talking skeleton, it said. So, of course, I had to look it up. I went to Lowe's.com, and I can pick up my talking skeleton by 9 a.m. tomorrow. Bam! Take that, July! In the news is a dude named Gabriel Perez. The White House placed a teleprompter operator on an unpaid leave of absence. Why, you say? He's suspected of wagering on buzzwords and phrases in President Donald Trump's speeches. Gabriel enjoyed unique access to what the president was about to say, of course, including the State of the Union speech back in February. Well, back in February, he bet more than a dozen times on the prediction market platform called Kalshi, and he won $100,000. Does it smell hinky to you? Well, Kalshi contacted the Commodity Futures Trading Commission about unusual activity at Gabriel's account. A White House spokesperson said that Gabriel was placed on leave because all staffers and officials are expected to adhere to the White House's strict ethics guidelines. Kalshi. Did you know there's a thing called Kalshi? It's a prediction market. It's kind of like the stock market. I looked into this. It's like the stock market, except instead of buying a company, say, you're buying your opinion about whether something is going to happen. So it looks like Gabriel wasn't really predicting, more like knowing. Also in the news, the House of Representatives voted to make daylight savings time permanent nationwide, advancing the so-called Sunshine Protection Act. I did a lot of reading, y'all. It was 9 hours to Ohio, okay? 9 hours in the car. The measure passed by a vote of 308 to 117 and would end the twice-yearly clock changes by keeping clocks 1 hour ahead year-round. Hawaii and most of Arizona, which already stay on standard time, would be allowed to continue doing so. I guess so. Supporters say the change would benefit health, sleep schedules, and the economy by providing more evening daylight. Critics warn, though, that the darker winter mornings could create safety and health concerns. The bill now heads to the Senate, where its prospects remain uncertain, although a similar measure passed that chamber in 2022. And President Trump has said he would sign the legislation if it reaches his desk. And that's according to CBS News. Yeah, I read it. A lot of people have had a lot of problems with daylight saving. One, for saying daylight savings instead of daylight saving, which is what it is. And I hope I said it correctly earlier.
Yeah, that's it, Ref. That's it. No, that's it.
Good morning!
John Boy.
Good morning.
Billy.
Hey.
Sister Randy. Robert D. Ravo, fool. And hello, Jack. How are you?
Hey.
I'm sorry. Anyway, it's a funny story about Sunday morning. I woke up. I had not realized that it was daylight savings time changeover on Saturday night. So I didn't set my clock, and I woke up an hour early Sunday morning. I was running an hour ahead of time, and I walked out my front door and didn't see nobody stirring around in the neighborhood. Even that old Yankee fella down the street that cuts his grass on Sunday morning, he wasn't even out there. And I drove all the way from my house to the church building, not a soul in sight, not a car on the street. And I started thinking that was strange. I got there to the church, wasn't a single car in the parking lot. I started to get scared. I walked in the church building, it was completely empty. And I started thinking to myself, oh no, what if the rapture took place overnight and I got left behind?
Lord, come
and I
back.
sat there on the front steps of the church and I was just crying, and through my tears.
How was you crying again?
Through my tears, I looked over at the Methodist church and wasn't no cars in their parking lot either. I said, well, no, that can't be it. Little denominational humor for you. Well, we filled it up by the time Sunday morning really did get started.
All right.
There was not a single empty seat in the whole church sanctuary. In fact, even old backsliding Cuckoo Johnson brought his wife in there. And, they was coming out, and I shook her hand. I said, good morning, Mrs. Johnson. Love to see you again here. Good morning. And Cuckoo, how are you, buddy? I ain't seen you in a long time. Let me ask you something, Cuckoo. Don't you want to be in the army of the Lord? And he said, preacher, I'm already in the army of the Lord. And I said, well, how come we don't see you except at Christmas and Easter? He said, because I'm in the Secret Service. I decided not to smite him with a rod of iron. If Rayford had been there, I could have killed him with a jawbone of an ass. Which reminds me, let's keep it going for your hotline. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Goofy.
All right, thank you very much, Ernie. Good to be here. Good to be here. Me and Hoyt and Deborah, we might be taking some time off together, so I hope you all can find some boys to fill here.
Oh, is that
We're
right?
talking about going fishing. Deborah said he wanted to go fishing in a foreign country, so I think we're going to go to New Mexico. Yeah, Ernie.
Didn't you go to school, stupid?
I sure did. I came out that way, too. I tell you what, Ernie, I'm a self-made man. I started out with nothing. I still got most of it left. Hey, let me tell you what, I got a good one. What's the difference between a dog barking on the back porch and a woman hollering on the front porch?
I don't know.
Well, if you let both of them in, the dog will shut up.
He's a keen judge of humanity.
I don't need that back corner right now, Rand. Let me tell you another boy. It's a man, this woman was celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. They was out to eat, sitting there at dinner, celebrating 50 years married.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, he just started crying. Oh, he started bawling his eyes out. Oh, his woman said, what's wrong?
How was he doing again?
His woman said, what's wrong, honey? He said, I was just thinking. Remember, it was back there about 50 years ago and was courting, was making out on your front porch swing, and your daddy come out and sit you in the house. Well, hey, you didn't know this, but he put a gun to my head. He said, boy, I'm a judge in this town. I could kill you and get right away with it.
Oh.
I could throw you in jail. He said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you three choices. He said, either I shoot you dead, or I lock you up for 50 years, or you bury my daughter. She said, well, why are you crying now about it? He said, I'm just thinking I'd be getting out today. Well, y'all have a good day. You ready, Ernie?
Let's get on
Let's get on out.
We go.
Got a note here from my Facebook page from Mr. John Howe. Hey, John. He writes, hey, Miss Tater, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I think I found a question that nobody else will ask, so when you answer it, you will say my name, so I can be a part of history by being mentioned on your podcast. I've asked questions, and you answer, and then I think, great, this week is the week I make history. And then you mention the question and someone else's name. And I'm like Ricky B, and I say out loud, son of a... So now I have thought long and hard, can you play Dell's Den and remind everyone who that was and why they listened to his recordings? Also, who sang the Outburst song? It sounds like Billy, but who else could it be? Here's hoping to make history. All right, John Howe. First, I'm going to answer the Outburst song. Yes, that is Billy. which I think some of you may have forgotten, or if you're new to here, we played a song first thing in the morning. It was our first song. It was our first game. I say we. It was their first game of the morning. We played it at 6:20, and it was Outburst, where they would give 3 dates in history, give you the information from it, and then when the player would call in, they would be asked 3 things that were pulled from those 3 stories. And in 5 seconds, they would have to scream out their answers. And they would play their opening theme to kick it off.
Outburst, let's play Outburst. It's the game that anyone can win. John Boy and Billy give you prizes from the big prize bin. Let's go, meet contestant number 1. This should really be a lot of fun. When you're playing Outburst, have a hurry up and guess time. You'll have the best time. You'll have a big show time.
Let's welcome John Howe from Spring Valley, USA.
We'll have a big show time.
Okay, it's been 8 months since I've heard John Boy do that and or have to do it. So that's basically how that went. And as you heard, that was all Billy singing. Okay, then your question was, Dale's Den, would we play it? And remind everyone who that was and why John Boy and Billy listened to his recordings. Okay, so Dale's Den was a real restaurant in Alabama, and Dale would do an ad talk. So I guess you would call his number, and then he had an outgoing message. And later he let you leave a message, but I'm not sure. I'll have to ask John Boy who brought this to their attention, because I was doing news around this time, so I missed a lot of setups when I would finally come in and listen. So I missed who brought Dale to their attention, but they have several times that they called this ad talk line. And Dale would start out with something positive. It would usually lead to something negative. He would do a lot of housekeeping, tell you the rules of Dale's Den or specials they had going on. And then he would get a little angry, but then he would also come back out and tell you updates. And that is who Dale was. I believe that Dale has since passed away. So in honor of the late Dale from Dale's Den, let's explore this together. And John Howe, you wrote Dale's Den, so I was reading it as Dale's Den, but it's Dell's Den, like Del Curry, Dell's Den. But it's not Del Curry, it's Dale from Dale's Den. Okay, here we go.
Dale's Den ad talk. You are inside of Dale's Den. This is the place to be. We're not one of those big fancy places. We just a little small country place, baby, down here in Valley, Alabama. But we're not one of those big-ass places. Got all them bells and whistles when you walk in the door. You think the world coming to an end. We ain't like that, baby. But what we do, we pride ourselves on some good eats here in the den. We know how to cook some good food. We ain't like one of them fast food places, you know, got all that pre-cooked food, and all you got to do is warm it up. And got them little high school chaps trying to cook, don't know what the difference between a stove and a refrigerator. It's out-of-town folks what run it, trying to charge you a big price for it. Don't get me wrong now. Yeah, once in a while when I get hungry, I run by there and get me something. And close my eyes and eat it. And get me a big drink and flush it down, but it ain't what I want. When I want some good eats, I go somewhere where some folks know how to cook, and I think know how to cook right. And here in the den, we pride ourselves on having some people here that know what food and cooking is all about. You know what half-cooked food look like, and we know what food look like when it get done. And we don't cook a bunch of stuff and guess what you want and what you don't want. We set it over here up on a heater or somewhere and let it dry out, and it'll be something that you don't want, and don't even want to look at it. They are then the place to be. Hey, I'm going to try this out. And I'm at the end of each message, I'm going to leave a little spot here where you can leave a message. Okay?
All right.
Now, don't start that cussing and going on, so I don't want to hear it and don't want to be in it. So, at the end of this ad talk, I'm going to let you leave a message. I'm going to listen to them every week, a few every week. I ain't guaranteeing that I'll return no phone calls or return no message. I might, and then again, knowing me, I might not. But I got to get out of here right now. Next 2 or 3 days, I'm going to change this thing, and I'm going to get you a good greeting on here. But I got to go. I got people waiting on me, and I'm in a hurry. And I just got to go. Skeeter, you hold on for a few more days, and I get back with you. But they are the ad talk.
I'm going to leave a message here. Wait a minute.
Be good.
Yeah, Dale, on an earlier ad talk, you asked a question here. Let's see.
I want to know who in the hell is John Boy? Some radio station, John Boy and somebody keep playing my mess. Hey, John Boy, what's up? Dale's Digging, the place to be.
Dale, this is John Boy, and I got a little boy here that has a question for you.
Hey, is you, John Boy?
I'm just kidding, Dale. Get back in the deal.
Don't stop that cussing and going on.
That has been a request, John, by a lot of other people, and I'm glad you asked, and I'm glad I gave you the credit, John Howe, for asking about Dell's Den. All right, I'm going to put a pin in it right here. Thank you to y'all for your questions, your comments, your downloads, for all of your follows, and for subscribing to Tater Hangover. Shout-outs going out to Steve Goodner, Randy Kilpatrick, Kimberly Sharp, Bobby Jordan, Charlie Watt, Pam Dills, Erin Ressig, Shannon Toscano, Ben Brazington, Steve Drake, Larry on Spotify, Dale Walker, and Danny with an I, Danny Foster, Leah Falzerano, and to you, Mr. John Howe. I also want to thank my brother Marty and his wife Jenny for getting me to and from Ohio in one piece and for putting up with my snoring from the back seat. 9 hours is a long drive, you guys. A big thanks to Barry for taking care of me and for taking care of the dogs. To all my family and friends for their love and continued support. To John Boy and Billy, thank you for letting me use your bits. And you can get these and many more available in the bit box for 99 cents. Just go to thebigshow.com. And John Boy, 7 months influencing on Facebook and Instagram. You guys go check him out. All right, we'll see you next time.